Hi guys, welcome back to Paper and Pals. My name is Alex, and today I've got you in my kitchen for a little experiment. For those of you who don't know, I send mail out every single month, and in April I'm doing a Hans Christensen mermaid theme, and I want to try something kind of crazy for me at least. I've got this fabric that's got like vintage looking sailboats, anchors, bunch of cool stuff on it, and I am going to try to dye it using food coloring. I did find an online tutorial and I found a lot of people who have done this with various fabrics and threads and stuff, yarn, with a lot of success, so I am going to try their method. First, what I've got here is a 1-to-4 mixture of water and vinegar. So I have done 4 cups of vinegar and 16 cups of water. Is that right? Yep. So I am going to take my fabric. I did think about cutting it up and doing a half dyed, half not, but I decided that I'm gonna go all in. So I've got my fabric. I'm going to weigh it down, leave it overnight soaking in this water and vinegar, and then I'll be back in the morning to show you guys the next step. See you guys soon. All right, I'm bedding in here to go ahead and let you guys know what supplies you'll need if you are going to attempt this at home. I just filmed my intro. I have my fabric in my pot, and then I'm just using a metal mixing bowl to weigh the fabric down so that it's all properly submerged. So you'll need a big pot large enough to hold your fabric and enough water to cover the fabric. This is probably optional, but something to weigh down the fabric. You'll need gloves or tongs of some sort so that you can mix the fabric around with the dye. Once you get to that step, you'll need vinegar. Again, it's a 1-to-4 ratio, so 4 parts water to 1 part vinegar. You can just use any old vinegar you've got lying around. You'll need food coloring. I am going to be dyeing my fabric I really want like a turquoise, green, blue. There's this really pretty peacock color right there that I'm taking inspiration from to dye this fabric. I'll probably mix a ton of my colors to get to that. But yeah, these food dyes, food colorings are from Amazon. They were super cheap, less than 10 bucks for 30 colors, and I've used these for a ton of projects. I am going to be using these later this month to dye a ton of pages, some mermaid coloring pages, just a bunch of stuff, and you guys have seen me use these in tutorials in the past. All right, so I'm going to let this sit overnight, or at least 8 hours from what I saw online. I will see you guys in the morning. All right, guys, it is the next morning. I have drained my water and I have picked out my colors that I'm going to do. So I'm thinking doing some of this blue-green, adding some sapphire blue to darken it up, and then this peacock blue, which I thought was peacock green, but I use that. I've got some water boiling in my kettle. Once that's done, I'm gonna fill it up in here and add the food coloring. All right, so I've got my boiling water from my tea kettle. It does have to be hot, according to the instructions I saw. Got the liter here. I'm gonna pour that into my measuring cup and then do peacock blue, this. I might need to set you guys down so I can squeeze these with both hands. And do about that much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want about 15 to 20 drops of each, so let me go ahead and do that. All right, so I ended up doing about 20 drops of each color, so like 60 drops of food coloring. And I figure if it's not enough, then I can go ahead and add some directly to the fabric, which would add some really nice variation. Although, I don't know. This is looking really pretty. Maybe I'll add some green to the fabric directly. Using my hands to just squish the fabric around. I do like, it is lighter on my camera. I really like the shade of this. It's like a nice dark blue. So I am going to go ahead and just let this sit for, I don't know, an hour, maybe longer. It depends on what I have going on. I'll probably do a couple squirts of like a green or a blue-green just to get some variation in there. But I will let this sit and then rinse it out and show you guys the results. All right, guys, it's a couple days later. It's actually the weekend now. I finished dyeing the fabric. I rinsed it out in the sink, squeezed out as much water as I could, tossed it in the dryer on the high setting to heat set the color, the dye. There was no staining in my dryer, but I did toss in some dryer sheets, and the dryer sheets had a couple dots of dye on them. So I would definitely be careful if you're dyeing fabric with food coloring. And my research says that it will continue to leach out when you wash it. I'm not concerned because these are journals, they will not be washed. But I think I'm gonna end the video here just by showing you that I put the fabric onto my scrapbook paper. Still have to cut around the edges and decorate the covers. I'm thinking of using the fishing net, at least in my tortoise tier journals. It might be too thick for my other tier. I'll probably do a mermaid here on the front, some fishnet. Maybe I'll do some like burlap or cheesecloth or something. We'll see what I come up with. I'm not going to show that in this video because I do want to get this posted, especially because it took me days to finish this up. If you're part of my mail club in April, these journals will be sent out. I did want to let you guys know that since this was an experiment, I only had 1 yard of fabric, which means I didn't have enough for all of the journals. So I have two options. One, I recently bought this at Hobby Lobby, so I could just go buy another yard of the material. I can dye it, and all the journals will be very similar to each other. Option two would be to use the same colors to dye other fabric that I have. And then this pattern on here reminds me of like stamped fabric. I've got a set of ocean animals. I think I might have a boat. I have the mermaid. So I was thinking that I could also do a second variation. That's just dyed fabric in the same color, and then I could do stamping with various permanent ink colors and stuff. Let me know what you guys think. I'm happy to do either one. It might be a little bit more work to do the stamping, but I think that would be really cool to have like 2 variations of the journals and hand stamp those. This fabric is also very nice. I like that it's a little bit thicker than just like cotton. So there were no wrinkles or any difficulty gluing it down. Let me know what you guys think down below. Before I sign off, I'm going to show you guys a couple things that I have either received or pulled out of my stash that will be going in these mermaid packs. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for the shakiness. I couldn't find my phone stand or my filming little arm. So I'm just holding it today since this is a quick little video. So I've got these stamps that I could use for the fabric. I've also got boat cigarette cards that I'm thinking of including for all of my members. I think these are so cool and really remind me of The Little Mermaid. This month, instead of doing a postcard, I bought some, I think they're called pen pal cards. They are like a recreation or a reprint of a vintage pen pal card, but I ordered them on eBay and the seller has just shipped them. So I'm really excited to show you guys those. They're super cute. These are some of the playing cards I'm thinking of including. I have a ton of ship ones, or like nautical themed ones. Really like this one. I'm not sure if I'll include some of them, all of them. This Newport, Rhode Island one that just looks like a scene from Little Mermaid. The little seagulls. I might do like 4 random playing cards for each, depending on the tier. We'll see. And then I pulled out just playing cards that reminded me of this theme from my collection, to send these to you guys. I love those seashell ones. I wish I had found a full deck of those. I did pull out like water ones. I really like this waterfall. Pirates. This one's so cute. It reminds me of the scene from Disney's The Little Mermaid. I don't know that it really fits my theme, but I think it's adorable, so I pulled it anyways. I have this one that has really cute little mermaids on it. Just a little beachy one. I thought this ship was really cool. Water foam. Couple ship ones. Some shells. I really like this one with the seagulls. And then I've got it in blue. So those are the cards and smaller things that I've got. Let me show you a couple more other books that have arrived. Okay, holding it wasn't working for me, so I went and found my tripod. I'm gonna start with the ones I'm the most excited for, which is these Little Mermaid coloring books. I was expecting just coloring pages by Hans Christian Andersen, but they've got these gorgeous covers, and then it's actually the full Little Mermaid story just with coloring pages added in. Isn't this so cool? I'm not sure if these will be a page in my journals or if they'll just be included in my paper packs. I need to go through and kind of decide what will be in each tier for this month. Look at her and that ship. I really enjoy these. There she is rescuing the prince. I love this page. Just the mermaids on there. And we've got the little sea witch. Love it. Okay. I did get 2 of these. I actually ordered 3, but one of them was canceled by the seller, so 2 it is. And I got this tiny Little Mermaid book. Look at that end page, it's so precious. This would be such a fun altered book, or just like cutting off the covers and adding my own spine to turn it into a junk journal. I think that would be so cool. I like these small pages for including in my journals. Ooh, that's a pretty page. So we'll see what I do with this. Oh, I actually really like that illustration. Okay. And then I've got just like a chapter book, your typical paperback paper. I like using these for tags and stuff. Maybe for the monthly challenge tag, I'll just do some like normal plain tags and then send some stickers and stuff that you guys, so that you guys can decorate them. If you want to enter the monthly challenge, you can post a picture of that. And then my final book is gonna be just a Little Mermaid book. These are super cute. Oh, you know what I would actually really love to do? I would love to use these illustrations as the front of my junk journals for this month. Maybe not all of them, but look at how precious that one is. Her out at sea. I might look into that and see if I've got enough pictures to have these on my front covers. Can you imagine just these images layered up on top of some cheesecloth, some fishnet? It would just be gorgeous, even that little ship. I love those. Those mermaids. Beautiful. Okay. I'll do a quick flip through the last couple pages, but I think you guys get the idea. I am going to go ahead and end the video at this point. Let me know if you would, if you think I should just buy and dye more of this exact fabric, or if you think it would be cool to have a second variation where it's dyed fabric and then I've just stamped a bunch of things kind of similar to this. Let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.